Hey there. Welcome to another edition of I have no idea what we're going to call this. Because I don't. We'll think of a name for it later. No, we'll call it General Chat. That's what I normally call podcasts that I can't think of where they fit. So we're just going to call this one General Chat. And as always, this and other podcasts in the Jazzy Groove Rainy Day Podcast family are brought to you by the Power of Five. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about delusion, which is a theme and a topic that we constantly come back to because it is the single most defining and most infuriating trait that modern women today possess. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to a podcast, a fresh and fit clip. It's about 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Shout out to Walter and Myron for their contributions to the space. We're going to watch it through, and then we're going to talk about it. So here we go.
Are you aware of the fact that most women are fairly delusional as to where they stand as far as what they think that how attractive they are and what kind of man they think they deserve?
I mean,
is that from a men's perspective, though?
No, I've interviewed 1,800 of y'all, and pretty much what I've come to realize is no matter how that woman looks, she typically wants an above average man, significantly above average, and every girl feels like she's entitled to it.
At least.
that's
Very rarely do we get a girl on here that says, no, I'll take an average man. Most girls don't. When I say 5'8", 50K per year, hell no. And they haven't even seen how he looked yet.
If you can get somebody above average, yeah, but it's the people who can't. Like,
the problem is that every girl thinks that they deserve above average. Every girl thinks that they're special. If I ask each and every one of y'all, each year is going to say I'm a 9, I'm a 10, I'm a queen. Like a lot of women have an overinflated sense of self-worth.
Yeah, but confidence is sexy too.
Oh, here we go.
Confidence and delusion.
Confidence and delusion there's
not
a
the
fine
same.
line. You know what I mean? And I would say that fine line is consistently walked over by women. And the math just doesn't math. If you guys are able to make money off of OnlyFans and monetize your beauty to the degree that you are, that clearly means there's a market for men that aren't getting laid. It's simple math.
yeah.
The men that you're thinking about that actually are fucking are like the top 10% of dudes.
Or they're going on OnlyFans and, doing the weird stuff that they're into with OnlyFans girls and not actually doing it with the girls that they're seeing on a daily basis.
Let me explain something to you. Every single guy, and I know a bunch of them, that's good with women, that has had sex with a lot of girls, doesn't pay for porn, will never be caught dead on OnlyFans, has an issue paying for sex because it's disrespectful to them because they understand how women think and they know that when you pay a woman for sex, she doesn't respect you. She doesn't give a fuck about you. All right? So every real player I know will never pay a chick for sex. And they're not over here paying for chicks OnlyFans or whatever. A majority of men have to do it, though, because they don't have the skill set, looks, status, whatever it may be, to attract women. I mean, your own professions prove my point.
Yeah.
I agree.
If guys were out here fucking, they wouldn't be paying for y'all OnlyFans, bruh.
Facts.
Yeah.
Two minutes and 3 seconds of a masterclass. And there are women who honestly believe that guys are smashing and it's like that across the board. No. That's not what we're saying. We're saying that the guys that they want are sexy. It's the top 10% of men. It is a known fact that 80% of women believe that 80% of men are physically unattractive. Thus, they're invisible. And it's also been stated many times on many different podcasts that the man that would give them the world is invisible to them. They're either invisible or they've been friend zoned. And friend zoned is worse than invisible, because invisible, you can think, well, she doesn't even know I'm alive. And you can go out your business. If you're friend zoned, you like them, she knows you like them, but she doesn't have time for you. And I ask you, is that right? Is that fair? Is that just? Is that kind? And the answer is a resounding no. No, it's not. It's not kind. It's not fair. It's not right. It's not just. But it's how women deal with things. But that's okay, because they get their comeback. But the way they get their comeback, they'll never know it, which feeds into the delusion that much further. Because just as women have their boxes, men have theirs. You're either wifey or you're sex zoned. And to be honest with you, sex zone is worse than friend zone, because we're giving the illusion, an outward illusion of a relationship. We smash them, but it's almost always a booty call. Matter of fact, it pretty much is a booty call. Between 11 and 3 at night, they get the text message, they get the call. What you doing? I'm coming over. And women know what that is. They may pretend like they don't know, but they know. They know it. It's a booty call. But they deal with it because this guy's not going to get away. I'm going to change him. He may say he doesn't want me, but I'm going to give him, this is going to be so good, he's going to have no choice but to want to be with me and be my boyfriend, and we're going to get married, and everything's going to be perfect. And I'm here to tell you, that ain't happening. He doesn't want you. He doesn't need you. He probably doesn't even like you. Oh, he wants to have sex with you, but remember, sex to a guy is transactional. It's just a biological urge. It's an itch we have to scratch. That's all. No more, no less. And it is what it is. And women are a lot more clued up than they pretend to be. I said it before, and it's worth repeating because it'll give insight as to how they work. Women know. They know when they want to have sex. They know when they just want to be friends. They know when they're interested. They know when they're not interested. We guys, on the other hand, are for the most part pretty darn clueless. That's where the phrase getting lucky came from. Because we didn't know it, we stumbled into it. We shoot our shot and we play the numbers. No more, no less. And the delusion of these women defies belief. Can't nobody be that stupid. Can't nobody be that delusional. Can't nobody be that narcissistic. Can't nobody be that closed-minded, that horse blinkered. Because let's face it, that's what they are. That's exactly what they are. They feel that they're going to give you the cookie. And it's going to be so good that you're going to want to come back again and again for it. And they're going to tame that tiger. But remember the old saying, if you plan to grab a tiger by the tail, you better have a plan for dealing with his teeth and claws. And most women don't. And that's where the carnage happens. That's the part they don't see coming. Because they're supremely confident in their abilities. And it never in a million years occurred to them to think, that might not be. The 10% of men that 90% of women want have no intention on ever settling for them. Because they have options. You have women practically throwing themselves at you. And if you have a plethora of women, attractive women, and these are the 8s and 9s, 7, 8, and 9s. If you have a plethora of women, good-looking women, that are begging to have sex with you, why would you settle for anyone? That is the plight of the confirmed bachelor. Those are the ones that feel sorry for women and think, well, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to lead this girl on. I'm going to tell her what it is and she can deal with it any way she sees fit. Which would be fine in a normal everyday world, but women aren't normal in every day. I don't think they ever have been, and they're certainly not now. And that's where you get the, I'll change him. He'll change for me. No, he won't. Yes, he will. No, he won't. I think he will. I think he won't. Because in order for him to want to change, you have to be special. And when I say special, I'm talking about giving him a reason to have to stick around with you, to put you on his program. And because women don't like that term, and choose not to do it, they get their outcome. You made your bed. Now lie in it. We need to do better. That goes without saying. And that's on both sides, male and female. We both need to do better because we're both human. We're going to make mistakes. That's a given. And because we're going to make mistakes, we have to be ready to acknowledge these mistakes, own up to them, and put into play a series of actions to ensure that they don't happen again. Do better. Shout out again to Myron and Walter for their contributions to the space. It's a quick clip, 2 minutes and 3 seconds. I highly advise people to watch it because he may come off raw, but there's truth to his words. And if you leave with only one thing after watching it, it's this: you're not special. Not in the way you think you are. And with that, we're going. Later.